Alright, hello everybody. We're going to be talking, well, first off, I haven't uploaded in like a month. I don't really have an excuse other than exams was like 2 weeks. Then, I don't know, I really just hate preseason of League. I think it's pretty shitty and kind of pointless unless you want to practice your champion. But, I've just been playing a lot of Fortnite lately, and a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, we're going to do episode 3 or 4, whichever one it is, and we're just going to talk about how you can get better at landing your skill shots. Because obviously, one of the key things of Xerath is landing all your skill shots. So Q, I'd say Q is probably your main ability. Does the most damage. Charge up, you shoot. Charge up, you shoot. This is the ability you're going to be using mainly in lane, or following it up with W or E, depending on where they're at in the mini wave and a bunch of stuff. So I find early on, like if let's reset this, can I do that? I'll spawn another one. So early on, I like to throw a couple Qs out. I call them test Qs. So I aim somewhat on them. If you saw there, maybe I'll pause it. If you see, I somewhat aim on them, and I aim in the direction I think they're gonna go. So I throw out one, and let's say this one misses because they sidestep to the right. I'm like, all right, well next time we're fighting, I'm gonna aim a little bit to the right, and they're either walk into it or they won't move. Now I like to say that there's like 3 kinds of sidestepping and juking. So sidestepping is when you throw out your ability and they move based off the hitbox. So that's basically it. So I throw out my ability and they dodge it depending on where I throw it. Sidestepping is hard to hit them because you kind of need to predict a little bit or be so close that they can't sidestep it. Now juking is when you think they're going to go right and they don't and they go left. That means they juke your ability before you actually throw it, while sidestepping is dodging it when it's already thrown. So when I'm up against someone who can sidestep really well, okay, it's scary because it's like dodge, whatever. I like to W first to get the slow, and then Q because it's be a lot harder for them to dodge. The sidestep, a lot harder. Okay, let me reset. A lot harder for them to dodge. So if they dodge that, I'm like, okay, they dodged like 3 of my Qs right now. W, Q. Okay, if you land in the middle, it slows for more. Land on the side, it slows for a little less, but it's fine. Another thing I like to do, depending on who I'm up against, sometimes I like to stand out of the wave, especially going up against, like, I don't know if Nico's supposed to be mid or not, but I went up against a Nico and her ability that does more damage when he kills something, or like Malzahar's poison or whatever. I like to stand away from her wave so I can get a nice E off, then W, and then Q. So I'm pretty sure I showed combos already, and this is just about landing skill shots. So I find because I played Xerath from gold to plat 1 where I am now. So I find a lot of people in gold sidestep left. So, well, here's an example. I wish I could move. Can I erase dummies? Clear, I can. Okay. So if I'm coming on someone at this angle and he's in the middle, in gold I find instead of going straight up here, they sidestep backwards. So I just go like this, throw a little bit backwards, and they'll walk right into it. I find that happens a lot. But after you hit them a couple times, with them going backwards, then they start going forward instead. So you let's say you catch them 2 times when they're sidestepping backwards. Then you walk up and just throw it forward. But if they go backwards again, then basically landing your skill shots is just a guessing game on where they're going to go. You're trying to predict their movements, and they're trying to predict where you're going to throw it. So you have to predict. It's just a lot of predicting, basically, is landing your skill shots. And you can use W and E to help landing in your Q. So if I stun, then I definitely want to slow and go. And if I stun from all the way back here, then I guarantee, like if you stun full max range E, and you don't hit middle of your W, you're trolling. You are 100% trolling. Okay. So now, let's talk. Then there's other sidesteppers where they don't actually sidestep; they just kind of walk straight. Those are probably the hardest to sidestep, to predict. Sorry. So if this guy just kept on going straight up here, it'd be pretty difficult because I assume first he's gonna step backwards, and if he didn't, I'm gonna look like I'm trolling. But next time I'll know. Okay, they're gonna go forward. So I'll try to throw it forward. So my guess is if this guy walked forward and dodged my abilities, I'm going to throw out my E right here. So if he does walk forward just a little bit, I'll hit him. But if he just hesitates for a second, like if I'm me, or if this is me, and he walks forward just a little bit and hesitates, I'll still hit him because my E's that close in the hitbox. So that's basically, and then really hard sidesteppers will predict that you're going to throw it out ahead and click S, and it stops them where they're moving. Just like this, and all the abilities will whiff by. We'll talk about landing alt now. I find alt, on a good person who, like a good sidestepper, it is, in my opinion, very hard to hit alt shots. I probably hit 3 out of 5 of them, which isn't even that good, but it is what it is. So when you alt up, everyone knows you're alting. First tip, you don't want a tunnel vision. Okay, if I'm shooting over here, I don't want Zed to hop on me. Okay, let's go back to base and get more shots. Gotta level this up. Teleport. Where's teleport at? Am I blind? Teleport. There you are. Oh wait, I'm trolling. I can just do it at where I am. Alright, back to base now. One more. Awesome. So, again, I've had this happen to me tons of times. You gotta pay attention to the mini-map. Okay, that's how you can tell if anyone's on you. So you just shoot around, and if I go, oh shit, Rengar's coming, like I might fire up the ult, shoot 2 shots, oh shit, Rengar, and run, like that. So you make sure you look at the map. This is also good for like just map awareness in general, so you can pay attention. Like if I'm shooting over here at Rengar and I see Lucian over here, 1 shot, I might be able to go for a shot. Now, something I like to do, and I'm going to dig around my footage and hopefully I can find an example of it, is if I'm alting, and this is a low elf enemy, let's say I hit all 4 shots, and the last shot is here, and they're just running, like, this is, I'm telling you, this is exactly what will happen. So let's say this is them, and then this is them later. So I ult, I land all my shots. Obviously you don't want to be this close, you want to be back here when you ult. I land all my shots. What am I at? 1 more. And I stop shooting. I hold it for a second. They think I'm done. And then I shoot it at the very last. I missed it, but let's pretend I hit it. So you hold it. You hold your very last shot, because no one knows how many shots Xerath has. It's the weirdest thing in the world. But even in plat, like high diamond or not low diamond, people don't even know how many shots I have. So you hold your last shot if they're focusing on sidestepping. Sometimes you'll be in a fight and you'll be ulting the ADC or the support or the mid or whoever you're ulting, and they'll be so focused on dodging your abilities that they'll just int to your team, and that's fine. If they would rather dodge your abilities and die to your team, who cares? That's fine. I don't fucking care. Go ahead. So hold your last shot until they start walking in a straight line, and then shoot to where you think they are. So I like to just hold the very last one, and I shoot them. So that's a good tip, is to hold the shots. If you're ulting, you basically have 2 chances to ult, at the beginning or at the end of the team fight. If you have all 5 shots, let's say they're doing Baron, so let's run over here. If they're doing Baron, and I don't have a blue ward, no one has any wards, I'll ult, and usually carries sit right here. So I'll shoot around here, look for people, maybe shoot one at the Baron, see what it's on. And usually when I ult Baron, I look for the ADC or the jungler. If the jungler is low, I aim for him. Because if you kill the jungler, then they don't have smite. If they don't have smite, then you can potentially steal it. And if the ADC or support is low, and the jungler is full health, I aim for them, just so if I do hit them, maybe I can kill them with a couple of my ults, and then that might lead to them not having Baron, or we get Baron and we can push down and maybe win the game. So ulting at beginning or at the end of fights really depends on your damage and how low they are. If you get to a fight late, let's say my team's fighting right here, and I'm late to it and they're already brawling, I might ult now, because I'll explain why, and shoot my shots at whoever I think really needs to die. If their AD is popping off, maybe I'll fire my shots at their Vayne or whoever it is, Zaya. Or if I think my ADC and support are getting their ass beaten, I'm like, okay, let's help them out and blow up that tank a little bit, shoot more at the back line. Like whoever I think needs help, I shoot them. And the reason that I ult before I use my other abilities if I'm late to a fight is because the time it'll take for me to run up and join the fight, even if I charge Q up and the fight's right here, I can only like just hit them at the end of my hitbox. So I ult first, I get them all real low and just get a bunch of assists for my team. So now ulting at the end of the fight is greedy because you don't know if you're going to win the fight or not. So if there's a fight here, again, and I'm in the fight, I'm spamming my abilities, doing what I do best, camping at the very back and just lasering people. And I see that if you're winning a fight, ult at the end. So you can pick them off. If you're losing a fight, ulting at the end can cause you to tunnel vision, someone to dive on you, and because you can't move unless you cancel your ult. So you definitely don't want to ult at the end of the fight if the fight's losing. But again, that's if you're in the fight. So if you're in the fight, you don't want to ult at the end. You want to ult at the wait. If you're in the fight and you're winning the fight, then you want to ult at the end. If you're in the fight and you're losing the fight, then you haven't ulted yet, just run away and spam your abilities. And if you get them low while you're running away, let's say they're all right here now, then you can ult. If the wave's here, they're crashing, if you ult the wave, do what you gotta do. If you're not in the fight, ult at the beginning. So if they're fighting here, fire my ult off, go for the shots, and then join the fight. Usually what ends up happening is you hit a couple shots, some low health people, and they start retreating. Like, get me the fuck out of here. Might have 1 or 2 shots left, and then you're not really in the fight, and your team follows up on your damage. If you arrive late and you want to ult at the end, then that's risky, because by the time you get in the fight, you might be losing it. You might be down 2 or down 1, and you might save your ult and it might not be good, or you might run away and someone flames you for not using ult, whatever. So hopefully that helps a lot. If you're having trouble, like, I'd say the #1 tip for learning your skill shots and getting better at it isn't practice tool. Okay, Xerath on practice tool, this guy's not moving. What am I going to do? I'm going to hit him every time. Unless I go for some like wild shit like that and miss. Exactly. So really, you don't want to. There's not really much to practice. You can practice just like the ranges and how far he is, and just getting like the grip of his hitboxes. Okay, why don't you cut me off, announcer? But you can practice the hitbox, but I never really hopped on and like practice his hitbox and everything. Really, the #1 thing to do is just play games. With any game at all, any champion you want to learn, just play the matchups, learn the champion, learn the games, learn the matchups, and you'll be good to go. So, I don't like playing normals. I don't like playing draft because people don't try in them. It's just true. When I play normals or draft, I'll pick like Janna mid and go balls deep every time. But like, no one, I'd say a very small amount of people, I'd say everyone who plays ranked doesn't try in normals. But if you don't play ranked, then people do try in normals. I think that's really how it works. Then flex, on the other end, I don't try in flex. Well, okay, I do try. I try in flex when I'm trying to practice a champion. But if I'm playing with a full team, I don't try that much. But if I'm trying to learn Xerath, this is literally how I learned Xerath. I played about 100 games in flex. I learned his abilities, how to read people, maybe even land some predictions. I haven't hit that crazy prediction that someone hit up here on Phoenix yet. I wish I did. But making predictions with the R is definitely a little difficult, but I have landed my go-to one. It's just an easy flash Q. Oh, let me explain this. So another thing I like to do is with reading my opponents is if I'm here, like if I'm right here and this is, I don't know, some champion, and I spawned an ally one, and this is my jungler here, and we're pushing in at this guy. Okay, if he has flash up, he's 100% going over the wall. He's probably going this way. And the reason being that if I was him and the enemy's jungler was right here, he has the option of going around or going through. So if I flash here, he can probably flash and kill me, or just run around and kill me. But if I flash here, it's quicker to my tower. So if this was me and I flash right here, Xerath's not going to flash on you unless like you're no HP. Just run back to the tower and you'll be fine. So usually they don't flash to right here, they flash right here. But if they don't have flash and you're coming on them like this, they'll, especially if this is assassin, they're going to come towards you because you're Xerath, and this might be like a Graves or a Rammus or someone like strong who can burst them. So E first, especially when you're far away, land the E. If you miss the E, just go for the W and go for the Q. Now it's clear. Clear target enemies. Let's go over here. Alright. Now, let's say that I'm here. My team is allied. Say they're all over here. And this is the enemy that I'm chasing. Okay, let's put him farther, actually. Team, enemy. Let's put the enemy... Actually, let's put the enemy over here. And if I'm coming on this guy like this, and this is my team, they've cut off this angle right here. He shouldn't go in here unless he's gonna die. If he has flash up, he'll probably flash over here, or he'll go. He'll probably flash over the wall. So you have two options. If he does have flash up, and you know he has flash up, throw the E over. See if you can go for a prediction. Or if you're not sure, you can throw a W over. So if he's slowed, then you can E and Q. This is really good. I do this a lot, especially when I'm not sure if they have flash up. The point being that if I walk up and he's, let's say, let's clear these, and he's super close to the wall, he's definitely flashing somewhere. I mean, no one gets this close to the wall unless there's Teemo shrooms around or they're flashing. So your options are go over, W over the wall. So if you land the slow, let's put him over here. Let's say he flashes the wall. W, you get the slow, easy Q, easy W, and then hopefully enough your team will follow up, or you can loop around and kill them. Now, if he doesn't have flash up, and he's not going to walk over here, because we know that your teammates are over here running at him. He's not going to walk this way, because he's going to die from your teammates, and he doesn't have flash up. So really, his only option is to go this right here. So just throw the E out there, he'll walk into it. If he has a dash, maybe throw it a little bit more, and hopefully he dashes away. Scuttle wants to leave. So let's say this is Lucian. He does have a dash. His dash probably ends right around here, so just go up, bop, like that, and hit him. You can put a W in the middle, and even if he has dash, you'll hit him no matter where he goes, so you can W, something like that. But really, in this situation, when you're landing skill shots on people that aren't in lane, like in the jungle somewhere, you just kind of have to see, like, what would you do? You wouldn't walk, well, I hope you wouldn't walk this way. If you had flash, you'd probably go over the wall, or even try to flash over here and hope that I don't land my stun or whatever. But really, landing your skill shots depends on what you're going to do. You try to be in their shoes and think what they would do. Now, sometimes you can just tell someone's not a good sidestepper. Like, if I'm up against somebody and I'm just beaming him with my test cues, I'm just smashing this dude up. I'm like, alright, this guy's not that good at sidestepping, and that's fine. You just sit back here and you just laser him up. No HP, you're good to go. I think that's going to be it for landing skill shots. So I'll do a little quick recap. Main damage ability is your Q. Your W and E helps you set up for your Q. So W, E, Q, or EWQ. Sorry. And then for your ult, you can shoot it, hold it, and then shoot. So it'll be like, say I shot all my abilities, I got one more. You hold it. I usually hold it to the very last second. He's walking in a straight line. Shoot him. That's it. Another good one is if there's a mini wave here, and you're landing your abilities, and he's so focused on dodging your abilities that the minions are just pounding them. You just hold it, let the minions do damage, and then you finish them off. So that's basically it for the ult, E and W. You can buy Rylai's if you're having a lot of trouble. If your opponent buys boots first, then you really have to overshoot it almost. So if this is, I find Twisted Fates usually buy boots like first or second. So instead of aiming like a little bit on them, you probably have to aim a little bit more to the side you think they're going to step to. Especially if they have like more movement speed, then you have to aim like a lot more, depending on how much movement speed they have. But like, another one I see Swag doing this a lot, and he does something like this and shoots it where I can't do it, but he does. So I say that was it. Just play your games, practice these tips here. Maybe go watch Swag. I'll probably put his stream in the description. I'll watch him a lot. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.